Today we're talking about discrimination in the Jim Crow era, from the end of Reconstruction through the early 20th century, meaning the early 1900s. So what's the essential question? Write this down. How did race relations in the South change after Reconstruction? And what was the African American response to those changes? Well, let's talk about Jim Crow again. Remember, after Reconstruction, many southern state governments passed Jim Crow laws forcing the separation of races in public places, meaning whites and African Americans were separate. It got worse, though. Intimidation and crimes were directed against African Americans, like the rise of the Ku Klux Klan and lynchings, which were public executions. I hate that picture. African Americans looked to the courts to safeguard their rights. Unfortunately, the courts won't do such a good job when they seek justice, because when they get to the Supreme Court, we have a case, Plessy v. Ferguson, where the Supreme Court ruled that separate but equal did not violate the 14th Amendment, and it upheld the Jim Crow laws of the era, so you could still separate the races. Some African Americans began the Great Migration to move north to northern cities in search of jobs and to escape the poverty and discrimination in the South. So what are African Americans going to do about it? Well, Ida B. Wells led an anti-lynching crusade and called on the federal government to take action. If the locals weren't going to do anything about it, the federal government should. Booker T. Washington, he believed that the way to equality was through vocational education, like skills and jobs and economic success. However, he accepted social separation and supported Jim Crow, basically. And then there's W.E.B. Du Bois, who believed that education was meaningless without equality. He supported political equality for African Americans by helping to form the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, who will fight for African American rights in the courts, and they still do today.